Hi, folks. I won't rant on this one. I'm just going to present another video of the absurd regarding US hegemony. So hang in there with me. It's important stuff.
I'll never apologize for the United States of America. Ever. I don't care what the facts are. I will lead her. I will do my level best to stand up for freedom and democracy around the world by keeping the United States of America strong and by keeping our eyes wide open as we welcome change in the world, but keeping our eyes wide open.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it? I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
There is no alternative to American hegemony. I suppose it's tempting, if the only tool you have is a hammer, to treat everything as if it were a nail. Abraham Maslow, 1966. Uncle Sam is great at pounding nails. America is not an ideal country, but it's better than all other countries. It's exceptional. The world cannot know lasting peace and prosperity until the world is Americanized. The means of warfare are complex and pose an existential threat to civilization. America must have a monopoly on this threat. America is powerful for many reasons. Much has been written on U.S. military history and U.S. power. It's probably impossible to imagine a better system than the American system. Until all nations accept Pax Americana, the world will need the U.S. security umbrella. Until all nations accept U.S. leadership, war is inevitable. Global civilization is secure as long as America has a distinct advantage in all areas of making war. There are hundreds of books, scholarly papers, and articles about the military history and capability of the United States. Read as many of those books and articles as you can. China seeks to become more powerful than the United States. Therefore, the U.S. must ensure China will never have the capacity to outgun the USA. The United States must maintain its economic and military dominance at any cost. Proper global prosperity depends on it. It is unwise to criticize American power. Whatever internal failings America has doesn't matter because global security must always depend on the United States. Even if America breaks apart, one form of North American power and culture will always be better than anything else the world can offer or imagine. It is unimaginable that there could be a form of government or culture that supersede America's. The U.S. is the penultimate defender of Western culture and traditions. U.S. culture is the best humanity can hope to have. American intervention by its black ops forces, intelligence agencies et al. Is always necessary to maintain U.S. hegemony, making it moot whether its interference causes problems. All wars that America has caused or finds itself in are justified and necessary to maintain peace under U.S. hegemony. U.S. leaders are rational and good decision makers who rarely make serious mistakes. Leaders worldwide who do not understand this are insane, irrational actors, and potentially dangerous. Leaders who don't conform to U.S. demands must be forced out of office before they can cause harm, even if forcing a leader out of office causes more significant damage than leaving them in power. It is best if every country plays by American rules. The more Americanized a country is, the more likely it can successfully play by American rules. The cause of all ills around the globe stems from a failure to understand this simple fact. Remember, the world today owes its prosperity and standard of living to U.S. business. U.S. corporations are the single most important thing in reducing global poverty and increasing public health. This brings us to critical questions on U.S. military intervention. Who are U.S. Special Forces and intelligence working with? In countries where Special Operations Forces have a more significant presence, whom the United States trains matters. Who is making U.S. foreign policy around the world? Is it the State Department or is it the military? Who conducts U.S. engagement abroad? Who runs U.S. propaganda efforts? Wouldn't you really rather be an American? No country is perfect, but America is more perfect than every other country in the world. I suppose we could define all nation-state borders in steel-reinforced concrete. Every nation could have referendums about what it means to be a real French person, a real Russian, a real Japanese person, a real Nigerian, a real Mexican, a real Lithuanian, and once defined, could live within their borders in a pure state of national brotherhood. And then we'd all trade peacefully together because we'd leave each other alone. We wouldn't really need any borders, or we wouldn't really need any armies. Oh yes, we would have our defense systems, but they would all be robotic, using space sensors, computer technology, and so on. And we could fight most of our wars in the metaverse, be a lot safer. We could live and let live. But that's not going to happen. So we need U.S. Special Operations Forces around the world keeping the peace, messing with everybody if they don't stay in line. We need the U.S. defense umbrella. We need Americans until we can all be Americans. Thank you for listening. Bullion Tea, out.